So I'm going to go through the list with you. Right now, we're going to practice pronouncing the words, and then your assignment afterwards is going to be to make a video like what I'm doing right now, okay, of you pronouncing the words. So just like this, you're going to say all of the words. So how do you do that? How do we make a video? I'm going to show you how to make a screencast in another video, right? So that you can do exactly what I'm doing right now. Okay, so I'm going to see your face on the list and you're going to be pronouncing all the words for me. Okay, and then you're going to submit that to Google Classroom. So this one's not going to go on Flipgrid. This one will just go on Google Classroom. If for some reason you can't figure out the screencast, then just take a video of yourself pronouncing all the words, and you can upload that. Okay, but I'd like you guys to get pretty savvy with tech, since you are the digital generation, right? So you should really be able to make a screencast. And, at the worst case, you just Google how to make a screencast, right? But I'll show you how to do it in another video, okay? Anyhow, let's get started here. So just like we do in class, I make you say the words. I want you to say them out loud here, all right? Don't be shy. Go in your room, close your door if you're embarrassed or you don't want to be around others, and just repeat after me, all right? So let's do it. First one. First of all, this chapter is about school, as you can tell. And the next thing we're going to learn is telling time. So, or the first main concept we'll hit is these right here on the left, these telling time ones. But I can't teach you time until I teach you numbers, because obviously we have to learn how to say the numbers before we can learn how to tell time. So after we're done with doing our vocab and all that, then we'll move on to numbers. And then after we are done with numbers, then we'll move right into telling time. Okay, and then we'll work our way through the list, which, as you can see, it's pretty big. So a lot going on in this chapter, I'm not going to lie. And if most of you did see the green grammar boxes because you've done your list, we're going to be doing some verb conjugating and actually learning how to use all of our verbs that we've learned so far to make sentences and talk, and it's going to be awesome. So this is a really important, critical chapter, and so I need you with me 100%, okay? All right, let's get started with pronunciation here. First one, ¿a qué hora es? Let me hear you say it. ¿A qué hora es? Actually, you know what? Let me pause this real quick. I'm going to bring up another list that has the meaning. Okay, stand by. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. So let me get rid of this guy here. First one, ¿a qué hora es? Next one, ¿qué hora es? A las. Es la, son las. De la mañana. De la tarde. De la noche. La hora. El horario. Menos. El minuto. Y cuarto. Y 10. Y media. Adverbs of frequency. We have de vez en cuando, so 4 words. De vez en cuando. Muchas veces. Mucho. Nunca. Siempre. Todos los días. So you're going to say that kind of a little fast, right? Todos. Instead of saying like todos los días, you'll just say it as if it were one word, right? So todos los días. Pretend like there's no spaces. Next one. A veces. Poco. Same thing with all these words. When you pronounce them, just pretend like they're all one word. Like instead of saying el arte, nobody talks like that. Just make it one word. El arte. So let me say it again. El arte. Las ciencias. El español. La historia. El inglés. Las matemáticas. Stresses on that A. Again, las matemáticas. La educación física. So this one's hard. Let me hear you say it. La educación física. La educación física. I'm going to say it again. La educación física. Next one. La música. La tecnología. That's a hard one. So let me hear you say it. La and then tecnología. Tecnología. So when you say it fast, tecnología. No H in that word either. Next one. Las cerámicas. Las cerámicas. Okay, we'll go up to the top here. Not too bad, right? We've got some classroom activities here. So verbs, we're going to be learning how to use these verbs. Instead of being able to just say I answer, to answer, to teach, to arrive, to need, to get a good grade, we're going to be able to say like I answer, she answers, we teach, they arrive, we always arrive, we never arrive, they always need, things like that. So it's pretty big what we're learning this chapter. It's really the foundation of speaking, just to give you a preview. But anyhow, let's move on here. To answer, contestar. To teach, enseñar. To arrive, llegar. To need, necesitar. This is a tough one. Let me hear you say this again. Ne-se-si-tar. So necesitar. Again, necesitar. Necesitar. All right, practice that one. That's a good word for you to practice. Next one, sacar una buena nota. Ooh, did I really forget this one? I forgot this one. Una buena nota. I forgot that word. Okay, so that's to get a good grade, which we all want to get, right? So let me hear this one again. Sacar una buena nota. I'm going to say it fast. Sacar una buena nota. To get a bad grade. Sacar una mala nota. Sacar una mala nota. To take notes, which we always do, and we will continue to do even though you're in distance learning, okay? So that's going to stay. Tomar apuntes. So again, tomar, this is the verb tomar, but that's not how you're going to pronounce it. I want you to try to roll at the end of that. So tomar apuntes, right? And then fast would be tomar apuntes. Next one, usar la computadora. So the verb to use is usar, and then we can use anything. Usar el celular, you can use a computer. It doesn't have to be a computer. You can use usar with anything. So, tu teléfono celular, etc. All right. Usar el Chromebook, for example. So let me hear you say it. Usar la computadora. Good. And then some other words and phrases that we'll use when we start putting things together. Casi. Let me hear that again. Casi. That's almost. So for example, here's never, right? If I never do something, let's say I never speak Spanish in class. Maybe you say that, right? So nunca hablo español en clase, right? And you'll learn why it's hablo later. But if I want to say I almost never, so you just throw that in front. Casi nunca, right? Casi nunca hablo español en clase. Something like that. Okay, and then right here, this is how many. So cuántos. Let me hear you say it. Cuántos, and then there's a feminine version. Cuántas. So for example, if I were to say how many kids are in the or how many boys are in the class, I'd say cuántos chicos hay en la clase. And here's the I. I is there is or there are, and when it's a question, it's is there or are there. So it flips. So if I'd say cuántos chicos hay en la clase, how many boys are there in class? If I want to say how many girls are there in class, cuántas. I just change it up. Cuántas chicas hay en la clase, right? So it switches up like that. Difícil, let me hear you say this one. Difícil. Difícil. And then easy is down here. Fácil. So if something's really difficult, you say, es muy fácil. I'm sorry, es muy difícil. You could say like math, right? Or science, las ciencias. And then you'd say, es una clase muy difícil. Or if I were to say like math, las matemáticas. Las matemáticas es una clase muy difícil, right? Es difícil la clase. Okay, next one. En, so that's in or on. En, el examen. Maybe he said el examen. El examen. And then the plural would be los exámenes. Los exámenes. Fácil. Maybe you saw the easy button at Staples. Muy fácil, whatever it says. This is a really important word in Spanish. You're going to use it all the time. Anytime, especially with numbers. Oh, there are $10, there's $10 in my wallet. Hay $10, right? There are many people at the party. Hay muchas personas en la fiesta. There are many students at CDM. Hay muchos estudiantes en CDM. You're going to use this with everything like, oh my gosh, hay tarea, there's homework. Hay tarea, hay mucha tarea, there's so much homework. So it means there is or there are. And this isn't like the same like, ay, ay, ay. It's not like that. That's just AY. This is a silent H, yes, and we pronounce it I. So let me hear you say it, I. Kind of like your I, right? So that's how you say it. And we use it all the time. Let's say you go to someone's house and there's tons of food out, right? You're going to say, hay mucha comida. Hay mucha comida. Okay, so next one is muchos and muchas, which you already know. So if there's many people, you'd say muchas personas. So there are many people at the party. Hay muchas personas en la fiesta, right? Hay muchos chicos. There are many boys. Hay muchos chicos. Hay muchas chicas. Next one, tarde. Let me hear that again. Tarde. I'm rolling my R, so tarde. Just try to do it. And then next one, temprano. Temprano. All right. Es muy temprano. It's really early. So if, you have class super early in the morning, you would say, I have class very early. And the way that sounds in Spanish, you say, yo tengo la clase muy temprano. Yo tengo escuela. I have school really early. Yo tengo escuela muy temprano, a las 7:30 por la mañana, right? Let me hear you say this one. Tener que. Tener que. To have to. We're going to learn this. This is a grammar concept. Technically, this should really go down in the green grammar boxes in your book, but we're going to learn how to say I have to, you have to, we have to, and we just use this expression, tener que, and really it's going to be plus a verb. So like if I have to have to do something, and I'll just put do something here. Okay, so like if I have to study, I would say yo tengo, right? I change this verb to have to the yo form, yo tengo, and then I add in que, yo tengo que, and then what I say, I have to what? Study, estudiar, my verb, tengo que estudiar. So we'll learn this. This is a grammar concept we're going to learn, okay? He has to study would be él tiene que estudiar, and then nosotros tenemos que estudiar, and ellos tienen que estudiar, or whatever they have to do. If they have to eat lunch, here's the word for lunch, almuerzo. Let me hear you say it. Almuerzo. That's a tough one. Almuerzo. Almuerzo. So if they have to eat lunch, or I have to eat lunch, just say that. Yo tengo, I'm going to change this up, que, yo tengo que, and then I need a verb, comer, right? Yo tengo que comer. Well, I have to eat what? Yo tengo que comer el almuerzo. And then we're going to be able to learn it and say it with time. So I have to eat lunch at, I don't know, 11:15. So how do I say that in Spanish? Well, I would say, yo tengo que comer el almuerzo at, this is where the time comes in, right? So we're going to go over here, a la or a las. Oh, it doesn't, oh, here's the las. So in this case, you don't know why yet, but you will soon. It'll be a las 11:15 at 11:15, right? A quarter past. So that's how I would say it. Boom, you're learning already. I haven't even learned anything officially, but you're learning already. So you'd say, tengo que comer el almuerzo a las 11:15. And then would that be in the morning or would that be in the afternoon? Well, 11:15 is in the morning, right? De la mañana. Boom. All right. I think we're done. Is that it? Do we hit it all? You know what I'm missing is the numbers. So I should go back to that original. Where is my vocab list? Let me go back to that original list that I had on here and we'll hit the numbers. So you guys got to hit the numbers too. Okay. Now, real quick note on the numbers here. This is just the basic numbers. You're going to get a full-on lesson from me. Your next lesson is going to be on numbers. Okay. So we're going to learn 0 to 100. I know you already know 1 to 10, but there's some pattern recognition here when we start getting in-betweens. And so that'll be important. But for now, let's just pronounce these. Okay. So the first one, 10. You already know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So 10 with a Z. That you got to know that. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you got to remember those. So those ones you got to know by heart. 10, 11. So actually, really, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, you should be able to do that fast. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then you start to see, I'll just teach you a little bit while we're here. Why not? Little pattern recognition. 16. So diez is a version of this, except it has a C. It changes from Z to C, right? So 10, E, normally this is a Y, but in this, it changes to an I. Same sound. So 10 and 6 makes 16, right? Pattern recognition. So let me hear you say this word. 16. 10 and 6 equals 16. Well, how do you say 17? 10 and 7. So here we go. 17. 17. 10 and 8, which is 18. 18. 19. 20. And then, of course, I'll teach you all of them, 21, 22, 23, 24, etc. So let me hear this one again. Be, this is a B. It's not a V. Okay, it's a B. So like boy, be. And then this is an odd sound for us in English. We don't really have this. So this is like bay. Like, your bay. That's exactly how it is. Like B-A-E. That's how this sounds. So 20. Let me hear that again. 20. All right. When you say it fast, you say 20. All right. So just say it like that. It's not venti. It's not like a venti, frappuccino from Starbucks. In Italian, yeah, it's 20 ounces, right? So venti is venti in Italian, which is where it comes from. But we don't say venti. We say 20 in Spanish. All right. Next one. Tre, same sound. Train. Like a train. Okay. So train, but roll your R. 30. 30. So it's going to be 20 y 30. All right, 31, 32, etc. The next one is 40. 40. And then we're going to roll our R. So 40. I don't know if you remember in the beginning of the year, I kind of told you that R's are actually the letter D. It's the same sound. You just turn this into a D and it sounds better. So like you would just say quadenta, but then say it fast. 40, right? 40. So if you could do that, you'll sound actually better. 40. This one right here is 50, 50. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90 y 100. Okay, and then we'll talk about numbers. We'll do that next time. If you haven't done your list yet, make sure you do hit the green grammar boxes, all right, so that you know what we're learning for grammar. Okay. Your job is to make a video. It can be a screencast like this, or it can just be you reading the list in front of your computer or your phone and pronouncing the words in your best, most perfect Spanish. All right, I will see you next time. La paz, la paz. Buenas noches. Son las 9:30 por la noche, just so you know. Did you understand what I said? Son las 9:30. It's 9:30 in the evening. All right, goodbye.